everybody, Jeremy, National Fire Radio. Today, we're on site with the Hobbie Volunteer Fire Department, Hobbie, Pennsylvania. Chief Mark Smith. Chief, thanks for having us today.
Welcome.
Keith Creely, Vice President of Ziamatic Corp. Ziamatic's been a long-time manufacturer for over 50 years, bring a lot of products to the American Fire Service. And so today, we're here on site in Hobbie, Pennsylvania, to talk about a new product that you guys are launching into the market.
We have a double hard sleeve suction gantry that slides from an 8-foot height, and it makes it a safer, more convenient one-man operation. And we feel that's going to help a lot of the fire departments in these types of areas, since they do a lot of drafting.
You bring up a really good point, right, Chief? We're here in rural Pennsylvania. With that comes the lack of a domestic water system. And so you guys, for firefighting here, you're going to be drafting regularly.
100% of the time when we get called for structure fires, we are looking at a static water source.
And so a lot of times, hard sleeves for a lot of people in the fire service are an afterthought thrown up on top, right? They're either, mounted up above, they're on top of the cab, they're up in inaccessible places that typically is difficult to get to.
In my eyes, that was a big decision for a decision maker for us to go this route. His biggest thing is the safety. A lot of departments out there are in the same boat we are in, stepping in a compartment or climbing up on top of the hose bed, trying to hand them down. You're dropping them against the side of the truck. This is a game changer for the whole fire service, for sure.
And what I like about it too, when you think about establishing water supply, typically in a rural area, we're talking volunteer fire departments. They're pressed for time because they're covering a large square mileage, right? So they're usually behind the ball on arrival. So the expeditious nature of establishing a water supply is critical. And so when you're working with limited staffing, we need to be able to get those hard sleeves off, threaded up, thrown in the water, or hooked up to a dry hydrant and establish water quickly.
The other thing is the age of our department. I mean, two of my daytime guys are 70 plus years old, and I know there's most departments in the country are dealing with the same thing, lack of new volunteers, young people. So this is really fits the mold.
Yeah, I'm excited to show it off. I'm excited to show some content on how it's deployed, how it's used. Well, why don't we do this, fellas? We can stand here all day and talk about it, but let's show what we're gonna do. So
Sounds good.
Let's demonstrate the product. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you. Keith Creely, Vice President, Ziamatic, thank you for having us.
Absolutely, thank you.
So this is cool. We're in Hobbie, Pennsylvania with the Hobbie Volunteer Fire Department. I was just talking with Chief of Department Mark Smith before. And the reason why we're here today is we're talking about a new item that you guys brought to market. And they were the first ones to mount it on their apparatus. And that's that double hard sleeve gantry system that you guys have designed and built. What I find really interesting about the story is that you actually listened to them. You guys had an idea for a hard sleeve gantry, and they said, well, we need 2 sleeves, right? We need a minimum of 20 feet, right? Can you do that? And what'd you do?
Yeah, so, I've been with the company for 29 years, Jeremy, right? And ever since I got into sales, we'd take these slips, these papers, and you go to Harrisburg or you go to FDIC, and if you don't write something down, you're gonna forget it, right? We were always about the fire departments. What do you need? What do you want? What is not working?
Sure.
What is better? And so we write it down, the fire department's name, number, what they were thinking, so that we can contact them and get more details.
It's great.
Right? So this is something like that. This is something that we wrote down because they came back. We introduced a single hard sleeve gantry because we saw a need there, and it wasn't the most efficient. They came back and told us that. So you got to be humble, and you got to listen to the firefighters. You got to listen to the chiefs and the safety officers.
Sure.
And that's what we did.
A lot of times we find in the fire service, through innovation comes complications. What I really like about this system and what I'm seeing is the simplicity of it. For me, I don't use hard sleeves every day, right? But where we are today in Hobbie, Pennsylvania, this is Americana. This is rural firefighting 101 that is across our whole country. And so this engine that goes to the draft site, they might be arriving with 1 or 2 people, and to be able to take hard sleeves off the top, because typically we put our hard sleeves up top out of the way. They're the largest, heaviest items on the rig. So we're moving them up top, and now with 1 or 2 people, we have to deploy them quickly and get water. It's a difficult proposition, and what you guys did was take something that has existed for so long and changed it to make it much more simpler. Simple is so good in the fire service.
Simple was the key, and it was the start of the design. We have a lot of powered systems. We have the powered portable tank system, powered ladder systems. We have powered steps. We have powered everything just about, just to make things safer and more accessible. This time we went with a manual gantry. We went with this because most of the departments that are drafting, I'm going to go out on a ledge and say that they have less funding. And when you have less funding, you can't just afford a $10,000 system, or it's going to take years and years and years of bringing and getting that money or getting grants to get that. We focused on designing around cost, and we think that we got that cost to the bare minimum as far as what we had to do, but to keep the quality that Ziamatic always puts in their product also. We feel too that we hit a home run with it, not just with a design factor, but a cost factor and a safety factor.
It looks like the standard fixed mount. I mean, it doesn't look much different than what we're accustomed to in the fire service, right? These are 10-foot sleeves. And so all it is a simple lock, handle, pull, and they come down. And then it's as simple as a Velcro strap off, push up on the sleeve, and we can walk that sleeve right off. And then we can just slide it back up, get it back into position. But if you think about the simplicity in that, usually we're scaling the top of the truck. We have to go up. We have to take the straps off, or the double lock that's on it, right? We take that off, and then we usually roll them off the side of the truck. We're talking multiple people, and it takes time. This system expedites the whole process, and it can be done with minimal staffing.
Simple is true. Simple in the operation. Simple to design it, maybe not so much, right? So you are correct. You released it from the handle from ground level. It's rolling on wheels to distribute all that weight, because you have hundreds of pounds of weight. You know, people don't think about the weight of the hard sleeves, the weight of the castings, the weight of the slides. And it's dampered down to a safe, efficient level. So you can let go of this thing and it will just slowly drop down to a level from an 8-foot mounting height.
I think it's genius across the board. And with everything that you're still talking about, it's still very simple. It's a one-man operation. And even to install it back up, we'll put the strap back on. The way it sits on the other end, it sits in the bracket, so you don't need a strap on the other side. And then it's as simple as one man can lift up these sleeves and slide it into place. And I think what's exciting about this too, it's not only for new builds, obviously, but it can be retroed onto older existing apparatus. Well, I love it. It's a great design. I know, talking with Chief Mark Smith from the Hobbie Volunteer Fire Department here in Pennsylvania, he's in love with it. He said it's making their operations easier and safer for his people. I couldn't agree with him more.
Just know, Jeremy, also this craftsmanship was done by Swab Wagon here, not too far south from the town of Hobbie here, and they did a great job putting our product on there. We can design it, but it's only as good as who installs it. So they did a great job, and Bubba from Swab Wagon worked with me well with it, and we appreciate their help.
Keith Creely, Vice President of Ziamatic, thank you. Thanks for including us in this project. A great product, and I'm excited to share it with the nation and to show the American Fire Service that there's an easier way to do it. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap out of Hobbie, Pennsylvania with the Hobbie Volunteer Fire Department. This project with Ziamatic Corp was exciting from the get, and after today of using their gantry all day long, deploying sleeves, packing sleeves, deploying them, packing them back up. This is a quick and efficient way to store your hard suction sleeves with the Double Hard Sleeve Gantry from Ziamatic Corp. So for more information, go to Ziamatic.com and check out their social pages. And we're going to be pushing out a lot of content about the new gantry system coming out of Ziamatic Corp. Until next time, we'll see you later. Jeremy, National Fire Radio.